Hello all and welcome, and I'm the MGTOW Philosopher, and in this video I would like to discuss the production of Julius Caesar that substituted Caesar for Donald Trump. So, in New York City, in the theater in the park, a production was held with a Julius Caesar whose stand-in was essentially Donald Trump. Now, I find this as tasteless as Kathy Griffin's Trump head, which I posted a number of videos about because it was so hilarious. And I find this just sad and offensive. And I'm going to tell you why. I think it's very obvious. Murdering a sitting president and having people sit around and cheer about it is bad, okay? All right, some rodeo clown riding around dressed like Obama. That's not the same thing, okay? You're satirically poking fun at the president doing something like that. You're not chopping his head off or stabbing him to death like Brutus did with Julius Caesar. It's not the same goddamn thing. And the left tries to equate these things. Well, you folks on the right did it. So, no. Nobody held a play where Obama was Julius Caesar and stabbed him to death. Okay? We got nowhere near the level of violence that you people seem to love. And the crowd was just cheering. I mean, they were cheering, they were laughing. Oh, this is great. I mean, what levels have we stooped to? Now, I believe in freedom of speech, okay? But I also think that the left does not. And I don't think that you solve problems with people who do not respect your point of view by just letting them do whatever the hell they want and letting them get away with constantly interrupting, interfering, interjecting into anything that the right does. Anything conservatives had to say, heckler's code, they shut you down. They do not respect logic. They do not respect reason. Now, there's a reason that the old saying, you need to fight fire with fire exists, okay? Because it's true. You can't fight a violent enemy that wants to wipe you out with peaceful protests, okay? Can you imagine what would have happened to the Jews? Oh, yeah, we're going to just slay here and we're going to not move and we're protesting. I mean, the Nazis, they did what they did anyway, but it would have made no difference, right? And so this nonsense that you just need to tolerate the left and they'll tolerate you, it doesn't work that way, okay? The left doesn't respect logic. They don't respect reason. The only thing that they respect is the same kind of behavior that they dish out. Now, people on the right got up during this production when Trump was being stabbed to death, and they went onto the stage, and they stood up in the audience, and they protested, and I am happy that they did. I am very happy that they did. Okay, were they wrong to interrupt? Maybe, maybe not. I think it depends. Quite frankly, I think there's context to the situation, and no, I don't think they were. Why? Because the left doesn't respond to logic. They don't respond to reason. They'll come to your event, whatever event a conservative is holding, whether it's a conservative speaker or a conservative gathering, and they will have rocks and bricks, and then the media will say, oh, the two sides clashed in violence. No, the left showed up and started violence, and the right had to defend themselves. But the media doesn't report that stuff. No, they don't. And in so doing, they encourage violence by the left. Now, what are you going to do when the leftists have an event? Oh, you're not going to do anything. You just, well, they can get away with basically destroying our events, and we don't do anything. No. No. You can't do that. Because you're not hitting them where it hurts, okay? Let me tell you something, all right? When somebody essentially, say for example, a bully attacks you and messes with you, you defend yourself. You stand up for yourself. If you don't, you're going to get hammered continually. Now, you can say, well, you know, conservatives just need to have more people at their events and to protect themselves, defend themselves, and in that way, oh, well, you know, they'll be essentially discouraging the left from violence, but they really won't be. Because the left want violence. They want violence. They want conflict. That's not how you fight them. You have to shut down their events, you see. You have to do exactly what they do to you. That's the type of defense that you need. You cannot win against these type of people by using tactics that they don't recognize. You have to hurt them where it hurts, which is their speaking events, their gatherings. You have to do the same things to them, and that will discourage them. Once they see what it feels like, and once they see that we're willing to kick it up a notch, well then, yeah, they will stop. Let me tell you something, okay? The people out there saying that, you know, that it is somehow wrong to use the enemy's tactics against them are mistaken, okay? Or that you shouldn't go looking for trouble or anything. You shouldn't go into the enemy's territory to basically do what they've done to you. Let's look at war, for an example. I believe we are at war here, okay? There is a war among the civilian population coming, and violence is breaking out more and more, and the police don't want to do anything about it. And this is not a war of the people against the state or some outside force. It is against other people in the population, and it's going to become more and more pronounced. And I believe we're already at war, honestly. And, for example, let's look at Germany. Did we not drop bombs on Germany? Oh, but how were we justified? We're drawn into their territory because they went into everybody else's territory and they blew people up and they killed lots of people and they did horrible wrongs in other people's territory. So we were justified to do the exact same things to them in the form of self-defense that they did to us. Now, if you're going to go by this turn-the-other-cheek bullshit and you're just going to tolerate all this crap, oh, well, you know, they came over here and attacked us and threw bricks at us and beat us up with bats, but we're just going to be tolerant and, you know, we're not going to go after them when they organize. We're just going to let them organize and get more members, and they're going to be more empowered, more emboldened, but we're just going to take the high ground. We're going to take the higher ground. You know what? You know what the higher ground ends up getting you? It ends up getting you annihilated, okay? Can you imagine what the allies of World War II would have suffered if they just never went into Germany? Yeah, the Germans, they're bombing everybody else and killing, but we're going to take the high ground. We're not going to bomb their country into oblivion so that they can't produce any more soldiers and any more war machines that are going to eradicate more Jews and more Russians. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to take the high ground, and we're going to be moralists. Give me a fucking break here, huh? That's a bunch of nonsense. You use the enemy's tactics against them if you have to. High ground my ass, okay? We had to go in. We had to bomb the shit out of them. We blew up their fucking central cities. We demolished Berlin, killed God knows how many civilians. You know why? Because it was necessary. It was necessary. Now, of course, I'm not advocating killing civilians, of course. I'm simply advocating that you go out and use some of the same goddamn tactics that they use against the conservative right, okay? That you go out there, they have these events. I mean, come on. This is more or less, in my opinion, this play is inciting violence. It's inciting violence against the president, okay? I mean, how about that shooting you had the other day with the congressman, the Senate whip? He was shot. 5 people were shot. You know, I mean, the left is encouraging violence. These kind of events are explicitly encouraging violence. And nobody on the right does anything. No protests. Can't be bothered. Free speech. Free speech is, you know, it's, oh, can't touch that. No, we can't do anything. Really? Oh, they go up to your events and they freak out and they attack people and they spray mace at people. You know, I don't believe in this absolute bullshit. Oh, no, we cannot. Freedom of speech is sacrosanct. We're going to set an example and we're going to take the high ground and we're not going to go there and protest them. You know what they're saying? Great. We're going to use their own stupidity and their own moral high ground against them to basically recruit more people and to legitimize and normalize this kind of hatred for our president. Sure, why not? Yeah, let's do that. Or we could go there and we could express some outrage over what they're doing. Yeah, why not? They do it to us. Normally, if nothing like this was done, if there was no atmosphere where this is constantly happening by the leftists, then I would say, no, this is absolutely wrong. Free speech is sacrosanct. But this is the weapon that they use, people. This is the weapon that they use. They don't believe in free speech. They come after you with rocks and billy clubs. They're wearing armor and shit, going out to events for conservatives and beating people up. Did you see the shit at Berkeley? I mean, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. And the conservatives are just sitting back and say, oh, well, free speech is everything, and let's, take the moral high ground bullshit. Meanwhile, you're getting the crap beat out of you every freaking day. And it's like, well, I'm not going to do anything, because I believe in free speech. Give me a fucking break, huh? You're going to believe in free speech to your fucking grave, and they kill you and batter you in the head until you're dead, you dumb motherfucker. Let me tell you something. These leftists, they count on the people on the right to be logical and reasonable and not do a goddamn thing to stop them because they respect the Bill of Rights and they respect people's right to speak and to symbolically kill presidents. That's perfectly okay. But a conservative can't invite a speaker to their college without these friggin' lunatics showing up wearing devil masks and skull masks and all hiding their faces and carrying baseball bats, and the cops don't take the weapons away, and they go around friggin' firebombing cars and demolishing buildings with bats and shit and breaking windows and causing millions of dollars in property damage. And that's just fine. That's a perfectly fine reaction to just some speaker showing up. But somebody is symbolically killing the president, and they're all cheering and everything, and somebody can't stand up and say, oh, this is wrong, this is bad, you people are like Goebbels, you people are horrible. Oh, no. And then you have people on the right saying, no, they made a mistake, they shouldn't have done that, people shouldn't have protested because freedom of speech is sacrosanct. We're cutting our own throat. So, oh, yeah, these leftists shouldn't be doing that. But then they show up and they protest and they beat people up and they nearly kill people, whack people in the head with bike locks and shit. And they don't respect freedom of speech at all. Yeah, not at all. And yeah, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. And then you got some righties conflating the two as if there's some equivalency between somebody on the right wants to give a speech at a college and some Fruit Loops producing a play where you substitute Caesar with Trump and you're symbolically killing Trump and everybody's cheering. I don't see any equivalency there. I think somebody should protest that, okay? Use the heckler's code against these people. I have no problem with that, all right? I do not believe in not using the enemy's tactics against them to defeat them. Or you could say, oh, well, where's it? Does it end? When will it stop? You know when it'll stop? When normalcy has returned and these friggin' lunatics are defeated. I'm sorry. I want these people beaten, okay? And maybe they're saying the same thing about us, But you actually do have to draw a line in the sand, all right? And there is a difference between somebody punching you in the face and punching them back. And by the way, since when does it become a wrong to proactively defend yourself? We proactively defended ourselves in war all the time. What was our justification for going into other countries and blowing them up? Like going into Iraq, which was probably a mistake, but was going into Germany a mistake, for God's sake? When did Germany blew the hell out of them because they were our enemies. We needed to destroy them. They were attacking us, okay? But, so we went in there and we blew the shit out of them. And it's that friggin' simple. Now, this is a similar war, but a war of words, but it also becomes a war of violence. These two people, only 2 or 3 people, a handful of people protested, and all they did was stood up. They gave their opinion. Yeah, they did give some of the heckler's code, and you could say, I'm a hypocrite. Oh, you're against the leftists doing this at righty events, but you're for it when righties show up at leftist events. No, I'm not for it. Okay, I'm absolutely not for it. But I do believe in using the enemy's tactics against them. The enemy is legitimizing and saying that these tactics are okay when they use them. It's really that simple. They are legitimizing these actions, so it's perfectly okay for us to use them against them. They are the ones that started this. There's such a thing as starting a fight and finishing it, and they're not morally equivalent, okay? So the enemy is starting a fight, we finish it. The fight doesn't necessarily end right there, but it's going to end at some point in time, but you have to fight it. You have to show up. You have to be there to fight it. And these fights are happening everywhere. These are attacks against us. These are attacks against good, honest, decent, hardworking Americans. This was a lawful election. These people are attacking all of you, all of us, who voted for this guy, who chose him to be our president, and they are attacking us. There are many different forms of attack, and this is one of them. And we have a right to show up and say something. You could say, oh, well, the lefties have a right to do that as well. Yeah, but it's how they do it. They show up with baseball bats, and they show up with pepper spray, and they show up in mobs that beat people up, nearly kill them, essentially do lots of property damage. This is a very different thing. A handful of people stand up and protested, and this show went on. No real problem there, and I don't think there's a problem with that. And quite frankly, I wouldn't have had a problem if some people showed up and really, really heckled the shit out of this, just like some lefties do, because you know what? That's the only language that they understand. You're not going to get through to them with anything else, okay? They'll be like saying, we could have stopped Hitler with prayers and cupcakes. What the fuck are you talking about? It's like somebody who's a pacifist. I'm a pacifist and I'm morally against violence. So I'm not going to fight Hitler with weapons. I'm going to fight him with ideas. I'm going to take the moral high ground. You know what Hitler's going to do to you? He's going to laugh in your face. He's going to step on you like a fucking bug. And he's going to kill you quick and easy because you're just holding your throat out and saying, here, cut my throat. Come on, cut it. If you cut it, I win. No, really? No, you dumb motherfucker. He wins and you die. And this is the same kind of thing. There's many different kinds of battles. There are many different kinds of fights. This is a battle that is not only ideological, it's political, and it is physical as well because they always use violence. These freaking nutjobs always use violence. Always. But we're not allowed to. And we're not allowed to use their tactics against them. Really? Oh boy, I wonder how well we would have done against Hitler or any other enemy if they start attacking us and then, they retreat. And then they come back again at us again at a different location, and then they retreat from that location. It's like, okay, well, they're not attacking us right now. We know that the next time we have a gathering, they'll attack us there. We'll just defend ourselves there, and or we won't. And we won't do anything proactive when they gather. Because they're gathering to discuss their tactics for their next attack on us, and they're gathering to convert more people and get more soldiers in on their cause. And but we're going to respect their gatherings. We're going to let them do whatever the hell they want, whenever the hell they want to do it. But they won't let us do the same. We're just going to, we need to respect other people's space and other people's freedom of speech, but they don't respect ours. But, we don't want to step over a line and do the same things they're doing. What? What the fuck are you talking about, you idiot? There's no difference. They've thrown the first punch, and they're continuing to throw punches, and you are showing way too much tolerance. There is a point where you have to put aside some of your morality, okay, if you want to win. And, for example, bomb Berlin, okay? And kill all those civilians if you want to win the fight. And I'm not talking about killing civilians. I'm talking about relativity in regards to the type of fight you are fighting. And in this case, I'm equating that to actually going to lefty events and interrupting them the same way lefties go to righty events and interrupt them. I'm saying we need to do the exact same thing. We shouldn't take it to the level they do, though, with violence and refusing to leave, okay? And becoming hecklers to the point where we are essentially going in massive mobs and forming a human barrier walls that we can pass through and trying to boycott the event entirely, but always showing up, getting up on stage and forming human walls and chanting crap. That's what a brain-dead leftists do. But I certainly don't think there was a problem with showing up and showing that you do not agree with this horse shit, symbolically killing the president, who is actually the president at that time. Julius Caeser is fine. He's been dead over 2,000 fucking years. But symbolically killing Trump, this is even worse, in my opinion, than what Kathy Griffin did, okay? Because you got these sick people sitting around and cheering it, these New York elite scumbags who don't live in reality. And a lot of people out there don't live in reality. I'm getting tired of this shit, this moralization, this moral high ground horse shit, where these people are going to constantly be showing up at any conservative gathering and beating the crap out of people. But when they have a gathering, we're supposed to consider it sacrosanct and never lift a finger to stop it or to just go there and protest. What the fuck? How you going to win if you have that kind of attitude? Are you fucking retarded? That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. How do you fight a war like that? Oh, it's not a war. Really? You tell them that. You tell these nut jobs that who are constantly putting on masks, getting their bats ready, putting on their friggin' bicycle helmets and their body armor and going out so they can bash the fascist, which they call you. They're the actual fascists, of course, but they label you a fascist so that they can, in their mind, legitimize the violence that they're going to do against you. And they're definitely going to do violence against you. Oh, but we can't use their tactics. Really? So, when you're dead, you can feel morally superior. When they've won and America is essentially a communist hellhole, you can say, oh, well, at least I didn't use their tactics against them. I can feel morally superior and justified in my beliefs because... No, you can't! Because they didn't work! They didn't work, you idiot. Ay. Look at what happened in America. The left has won because the right is unwilling to use the tactics that are being used against them because those tactics are unconscionable. Unconscionable. That's like getting punched in the face and, it's unconscionable to punch him back because that's using their tactics against them. Oh, no. And of course, the idiots on the right, there's no moral justification because once the event is over, of course, then there's no more threat. No, you're mistaken. The threat is still there. They're going to come back. And they're always out there. You're not doing anything to frighten them into submission. That's why they come out to these events like this. Not only did they do it to shut you down, but they do it to shut everybody else down that's watching, to scare everybody, okay? That's why the left has won. Yeah, they might be a minority, but they're growing, and they're growing because they show their strength, and nobody shows up to stop them. And when they have the little events, the left has their little events, how many righties are showing up to protest them or actually stop them? Is anybody stopping them? They're stopping us, but we're not stopping them. Oh, we can't use their tactics. Oh my God, impossible. We can't do that. That would make us like them. No, there is context. It's just like saying, the Allies were just as evil as the Nazis because they bombed Berlin and killed civilians just like the Nazis did. Yeah, but we had justification, you fucking idiots. And that's one of the problems with the right. They tend to adhere to absolutism in their morality and like to label certain things as bad and good, and they don't look at the gray in the middle, okay? They don't look at the gray area, and there's lots of shades of gray going on. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is good. That's it. No, you can't do that. Oh, freedom of speech is sacrosanct. Oh, those people that stood up at that Julius Caeser event where they were symbolically killing Trump. Oh, that was bad of them. They were horrible people. They were trying to infringe on freedom of speech. When are you going to get it through these people's heads that they are under attack? And sometimes you have to resort to drastic measures when you're under attack. And by the way, the enemy draws the battle lines on the battlefield, okay? They decide what your reaction is going to be based on how they treat you, how they fight you. The left has told you what the rules of engagement are. You idiots are simply ignoring it to your own detriment, and it will be your downfall in the form of the death of the United States. I am the MGTOW philosopher, and I wish you a good day. Take care.